Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Got my mic to work, but we're gonna react to Tyler Vatuli. So let's get into it.
They'll be there. Every school dance, they'll be there.
What?
Every time you go to the school bathroom, they'll be there.
What?
Who am I talking about? The
Patrick?
different types of kids that every school had. And when I say every school, I mean every school. So let's go over them. First up, we got the teachers' pets. Teachers' pets were the kids who acted like the school building was their spawn point. These were the kids who walked into class 5 minutes before the bell rang like they would get 20 years in prison if they didn't. And that's not even an exaggeration, because I had one class with a kid that always got there before me. But I never knew just how much earlier he got there until one day I go to school 30 minutes early because I needed to take a test that I missed from being sick. And guess who the only person in the classroom is when I walk in? You guessed it. The teacher's pet. After this, I started to wonder if he ever left that place at all. I even looked at his legs to see if he had one of those ankle monitors cops make you wear when you're on house arrest. But instead of not being allowed to leave the house, he was forced to not leave the school. Teachers' pets were the kids who, even when no one else would raise their hand to answer a question, they still would. And it wasn't even because they were geniuses or anything. They were just trying to glaze the teacher. Like when I was in chemistry class, no one ever raised their hand because chemistry is basically as hard as rocket science. And I don't even know what rocket science is. I just always hear people say it's hard, so I did too. But anyways, there was one kid in that class that would always raise his hand. So the teacher would be forced to choose him, he'd answer the question, and half the time, it wouldn't even be right.
Okay guys, what is the chemical symbol for the element gold? Yes, Andrew, again.
The answer is 4.
What?
I hate this class.
The teacher even got so tired of him being the only person that...
Okay, I didn't have a teacher's pet, and I am not a teacher's pet. I actually don't know. I don't think my school has one of those.
Ever raised their hand, that she banned him from answering questions like halfway through the year. And I didn't...
Wait. What? You got banned from asking questions. Or answering them. How much do you hate this idiot?
Like teachers' pets or anything. They're just trying to get a good grade in the class. I respect it. But the one thing they would do that I absolutely despised was when they would remind the teacher about assigning homework. The clock would be ticking, 30 seconds left of class, and the teacher hasn't brought up homework once. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get out of class without her remembering to give you any work. But then Andrew would just raise his hand and go,
Miss Nelson, you haven't given us the homework for today yet.
and the whole class would just turn and stare at him like he committed a felony. Because why would you remind the teacher about that? What do you gain? There's no prize for this. You don't get a medal. You just get 30 people staring at you, hoping that you step on a Lego.
Well,
And so...
you if the school year comes on the next school year, and you have to be stuck in the same class. That's a reward, I guess.
2 days turned teachers' pets into temporary principals. The substitute would walk in and be like, okay, class, so your teacher left me some instructions for today. And the teacher's pet is already standing up in the front of class like,
Hi, yes, I'll take it from here.
they'd be whispering all the secrets to the sub like,
You know, Mr. Michaels usually doesn't let us go on our phones like this.
and then the teacher's pet would turn around and hit the class with,
Guys, the teacher told us to be quiet.
like, who are you? You ain't the president. Sit down. But the most funny thing about teachers' pets is that, at least in my experience, the teacher didn't even like them. Like, they also found them annoying.
Oh my god, wait, every time I've seen the teacher's pet, they like the teacher's pet. The teacher like the teacher's pet? They don't even like him? Nah, that's messed up.
Cool at first, but no one wants to be glazed that much. You just start to ignore it at a certain point. That's why, honestly, I usually just reply to my hate comments rather than the ones that are saying nice things to me. And trust me, there's a lot more negative comments than there are positive ones. Like a lot. Seriously. I mean, my parents ask me sometimes if I'm okay because they see me getting bullied in the comment section so often. So please, stop. Anyways, the next group of students we have are the dumb kids. And I don't even know if these kids were dumb because of low IQ levels or if they just really did not care about school. I think it was a mix of both. But one person I went to school with was definitely the first option. And I'm not being mean because this person was my friend and he's still my friend to this day, so I can roast him. We'll call him Patrick during this video because his actions remind me of something Patrick Star would do. But anyways, Patrick was somehow so lost during class that he would literally make the teacher rage quit. Like one time, we had a test that was timed. We only had 5 minutes to do it. And once the timer was up, you had to drop your pencils and turn in the test. So the teacher says to begin, and everyone is sweating, trying to finish before running out of time. And right when that timer beeps, the teacher says to drop our pencils. But then Patrick raises his hand. So the teacher goes, yes, Patrick? And he says, When do we start the test?
Nick, you stupid ass. Oh boy. What do you mean when you start the test?
Literally left the teacher speechless. Like, she did not know how to respond. And while having a class with Patrick was awesome because it was so funny to watch him interact in class, it was also terrifying because whenever we had group projects, he would always want to work with me. And if you've ever been in a group project with someone like Patrick, you know it's a nightmare. Doing group projects with someone like Patrick is like trying to play duos in Fortnite, except your teammate is using their feet to play instead of their hands. You know you're gonna have to carry them.
You stinky ass. What do you mean use your toes?
When we had a group project together, I tried giving Patrick the easiest job possible. I literally just told him, Patrick, find good pictures to put on all of our slides. That's it. And somehow, I'd open the Google Slides later, and our presentation about Abraham Lincoln would have this photo on the front page. One time, I asked Patrick if he could change the font on the whole project to Times New Roman, and he responded by asking me if that was a superhero. And then when we had to present this project, you know he didn't memorize any of his lines, so we're just standing up there in front of the whole class, and Patrick literally just turns directly toward the projector, away from everyone, to read what I put on the slides. The craziest thing about the Patricks in every school is they always finish tests first. Like, always, which is terrifying. Because when you're taking a test and you see someone finish before you even wrote your name down, you start sweating a little bit. I didn't even realize why all the dumb kids turned in their tests so early until Patrick told me. Because I said to him, hey Patrick, how do you always finish your tests so quickly? And he just goes,
oh, well, I just decide whether to pick A, B, C, or D based off which one I feel the most spiritually connected to.
Whatever the heck that means. So they weren't turning in their tests quickly because it was easy. No, they just didn't care. But the most confusing part, they still somehow passed the class.
Yeah, they do.
You see the grades they get on all the tests and think, no way they make it through this. But then somehow, on the last day, they're getting a 38% in the class rounded up to a C-. Like, what deal did you make with the teacher? Do you have secret proof they're cheating on their wife? Because that's the only plausible explanation. Patrick would also make my teacher laugh sometimes too, though. Like, we were talking about the mitochondria one time in class, and he went, is that a country? And the teacher tried to not smile, but she couldn't hold it in. No one could. It was too funny not to laugh because you could tell he was being serious. But one group of kids who the teachers loved was the popular kids. Popular kids were the royalty of school. They walked through the hallway like it was a red carpet, and the rest of us were just background NPCs. And they always walked in a group. It almost felt like a Zoolander movie every time they'd walk by.
I think I'm one of these people.
They'd show up to first period looking like they're heading to the Met Gala right after class. Hair done, outfit coordinated, shoes are all clean. Meanwhile, I'm wearing the hoodie I slept in, and my hair looks like I just survived a tornado. This one is a weird subject to talk about for me because in school, I was always more of the quiet one. But in middle school, my friends were a part of the popular group, so by association, I was kind of in it too. But then when high school came around and I transferred to a school where I didn't know anyone, that popularity went straight out the window. So now, I got to see the popular kids from everyone else's perspective. I was scared of the popular kids when I got to high school because you guys have all seen the movies. The popular kids are the ones that run the school, and the place where this was really obvious was lunch. Lunch was basically the popular kids' kingdom. They had the table. You know what I'm talking about. The one table everybody knows not to sit at unless you're invited. It's like a VIP section at a club, but with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches instead of bottle service. Now, of course, everyone that wasn't a part of the popular group hated them. But at the same time, they wanted to be them. So we would all be super nice to the popular kids, especially because this was the group of people that always threw the school parties. And finding out you were invited to this school party was like getting invited to the World Cup final. One time, I got invited to one of these parties, and I was super excited to go after watching Project X, thinking it would be exactly like that. But then when I got there, I remembered how socially awkward I am, and I just ended up standing in the corner the whole time, checking the weather in Cupertino. But if you're in school right now and thinking, man, I wish I was a part of the popular kid group, just know it literally means nothing. The moment you finish school and look back on it, you'll laugh wondering why you cared so much about being popular in the first place. Because you want to know what the most popular kid at my old school is doing right now? He's a car salesman. I mean, I'm making Diddy jokes on the internet for a living, so I don't think I can really speak.
Sorry, guys. Oh, what do you mean you do Diddy?
Either. But you get my point. Moving on. Next, we have the kid who, anytime there was a school lockdown, you immediately looked over to check if they were at their desk. You know what I mean. I'm not going to elaborate any further. All I gotta say is, make sure you're nice to this kid. So a couple months ago, I had a cough that just wouldn't go away. Literally had it for 2 months straight. At first, I was like, oh, it'll probably get better. No need to worry about it. Then 2 weeks passed, and I thought, surely it's almost done by now. But then a month went by, and I was still coughing. It took 2 whole months of me coughing for my parents to say, Tyler, you need to go get this checked out. So I did, and I got it fixed. But you might be wondering, why didn't I get it checked out sooner? Well, to put it simply, I just hated booking doctor's appointments. Everything about it. Like, how was I gonna know that I could find a doctor who knows exactly what's going on with me? The whole process was just annoying. But luckily, that's not a problem anymore, thanks to today's video sponsor, ZocDoc.
Oh my God.
ZocDoc is a top-rated doctor today. Now back to the video. And then we had the class clowns, who were either the funniest people you've ever met or the most painful face. There was no in-between.
Yeah, I have class clowns, and I hate them. They're so fucking annoying. They ruin everything. They're literally the reason that we don't get like the fun parts of school. Like, you know, actual learning is not that fun, but actually the fun part, like the game sessions that we sometimes get, they just ruin it. They just ruin everything.
The class clowns who were actually funny? Legends. These were the kids who could say one sentence under their breath and the entire class would lose it. Never tried too hard, always had perfect comedic timing, and they knew exactly when to stop. They could roast the teacher without getting in trouble, make the dumbest situation funny, and somehow never cross the line. But then there were the other class clowns. The ones who thought being loud was the same as being funny. These kids would interrupt the class for no reason, repeat the same joke over and over again until it died. They'd say something, nobody laughs, and instead of stopping, they would just double down on it. Like, let me reenact an actual scenario.
Oh, you're stupid. You're stupid, mate. I'm in Australia, and I'm saying that you're stupid, mate.
That happened in my class one time. Okay, Steven, what's the answer to this math problem?
14?
No, that's incorrect.
What? This is why math is racist.
What? What are you looking at me for? Wait, what? Wait, just because the answer is 14, why is it racist? The number 14 isn't black. What? What? I don't get it.
I said, this is why math is racist.
We heard you the first time!
Yeah.
So if you're in school and you think you're the class clown, be very careful in making sure that you're the one everyone likes, not the one that overdoes it. And if you're not sure whether you're the actual funny one or not, I have some bad news for you. And I know I'm giving the unfunny class clowns a bad rap, but you know who else got a bad rap that didn't deserve it? Band kids. Band kids were easy to spot because they were always carrying a briefcase, one that overdoes it. And if you're not sure whether you're the actual funny one or not, I have some bad news for you. And I know I'm giving the unfunny class clowns a bad rap, but you know who else got a bad rap that didn't deserve it? Band kids. Band kids were easy to spot because they were always carrying a briefcase that looked like it contained an RPG. You'd see them walking down the hallway, hunched over, struggling, holding an instrument case bigger than their body. Trumpets, trombones, anything else that starts with a T. You name it. But band kids had a bad reputation. People would always say they smell, they're a little awkward, and overall, just kind of unlike the rest of the students. And I think that was why band kids only seemed to hang out with other band kids. And sure, sometimes these stereotypes were true, but most of the time, the band kids were actually pretty cool. They were just a little different. If you think I'm lying, actually try talking to one for once, and you'll see what I mean. Most of them are chill, funny, normal people once you start talking to them. Except for this one band kid at my school, because let's just say this guy also fit into the category I mentioned right before class clowns. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But the biggest reason that band kids didn't deserve this label of being weird is that band was actually pretty dope. You never saw what they were spending hours after school working on until the football game came around Friday night and they're playing Mask Off by Future. So start giving the band kids more respect. They're talented. But you know a group of students I absolutely just despised? Like, these people really grinded my gears, and honestly, I wish the school would get rid of them. I'm talking about the students who thought they were influencers. Who would ever try to be an influencer? Like, that's so embarrassing. Get a real job. No, I'm...
Okay, I'm only doing YouTube because I thought it would be actually fun. That's the entire reason I'm doing YouTube. Probably wouldn't be doing YouTube if I just didn't think that it would be fun. So yeah.
Obviously, that's the career I ended up going down. Still have no idea how I got here, but when I was in school, I was not a part of this group. I had no idea I was going to be an influencer when I was in school. At this time, I still thought I was going to be the next LeBron, but it turns out the only thing me and him have in common is our love for Taco Tuesday. I never even realized how delusional it was to think that I could be in the NBA until I rewatched my old high school highlights the other day, and I looked like this. So when I talk about students who tried being influencers, I'm not talking about myself, but also no judgment. I just thought this specific group of people was funny in school. A lot of the times, the popular kids and the influencers were the same people. Like there was these two girls I went to school with who, once again, no judgment, but they would go live on Instagram every day, and every time I would pop in to check it, there would be maybe 2, 3 viewers, which there's nothing wrong with. But the part that makes it funny is when they'd come to school the next day and they would literally be like,
yeah, a bunch of people are asking us to do more lives. We're basically influencers now. We have like a really big fan base.
now, I don't know if these girls were just schizophrenic and imagining things, and if so, I apologize. Or maybe those 2 people that were always in their lives just really loved the content. But the way they explain...
Yeah, something, I mean, I don't lie about it. I don't have that big of a fan base. Please subscribe. Please. Please, if you're watching, subscribe. Please. Okay.
It was in a bragging way. Always like they were better than everyone else because they were influencers. So to those girls out there, you want to know what a real influencer looks like? Peep my page. This is how you make content, girl. Just kidding, I have no idea what I'm doing either. But these girls weren't even the reason I thought about adding this section to the video. The real kids who made me remember that every school has people who want to be influencers was this group of 3 girls that ruined my junior year of high school. What happened? Well, it wasn't actually their fault, but there was this group of 3 girls at my school that would always do TikTok dances together. And they always recorded their videos in the exact same hallway right next to the staircase. And one day, I leave in the middle of class because I have to go to the bathroom, and that's exactly what I did. I go to the bathroom, do my business, and head back to class. So what does this have to do with the 3 influencer girls? Well, the next day, everyone's coming up to me with a big grin on their face going, have you seen the video of you that went viral? And I'm like, no, what video? Oh, what do you mean? So someone shows it to me, and the video is these 3 girls in the same spot as always doing their TikTok dance, but in the background, you see me walking to the bathroom. And that wouldn't seem to really be an issue, except for the fact that in the video, my posture is really bad. I'm literally walking like this.
Up, back, and down. Difference that makes.
So all the comments on the video are just cooking me like, who is bro in the back? Someone get homie a chiropractor. Why does the guy in the back have the posture of Dr. Doofenshmirtz? And that was the very first time I went viral on the internet. No one online knew that was me, but everyone at school did. Since then, I've promised myself I would fix my posture. That always just ended in me trying for 2 days and then giving up after. I respect the wannabe influencers though. They were brave to post knowing that everyone in school would see it. The only reason I ever started posting content was because I finally graduated high school, which meant I wouldn't have to worry about posting an embarrassing video, it absolutely flopping, and then showing up to school the next day knowing everyone saw it. The next group of people you're going to encounter at school, I want you to stay far away from, okay? I'm serious. You have to promise me you will stay far away from them because I'm talking about the super seniors. These were the kids who had been in high school for so long that their freshman yearbook picture was in black and white. You show up to geometry class, and on your right, you have Timmy, who looks like a typical 9th grader, 5'2", hasn't hit his growth spurt yet, and still has a squeaky voice. But then you look over to your left and see
Derek.
Now, even though
Derek.
and Timmy were in the same class, they look nothing alike. Because you would see
Derek.
and immediately think, why do you have more facial hair than my dad? I'm talking full beard, receding hairline. This man's probably going home.
Ooh. My thing turns white when I touch the screen. Cool. What? Wait, don't laugh at. Isn't that illegal? Call the police. Call the police, Teiler.
To feed his family of 4 after this. And yet here they are, still walking the same hallways as freshmen. Why were they still here instead of college or the coal mines? The world may never know. And listen, if you're a super senior, fine. Okay, maybe you're just not that great at school. That's okay. Everyone has struggles in their life. I won't judge you for not finishing high school yet, but the one thing I will judge you for is still trying to flirt with the girls. You cannot be doing that at your grown age. Flirting with someone in the same grade as you doesn't seem like a problem at all. Until you realize you've been in the same grade for 3 years. Go riz up a job application or something, man. These super seniors were sneaky. They knew how to
go riz up a job application.
away with anything, but they still weren't as sneaky as the school dealer. Everyone had one of these. They were the youngest entrepreneur at school. They would sell literally anything out of their backpack. You needed to...
Once I go to high school, I will become one of these kids. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. But I do love money, so maybe.
Drinks, gum,
Maybe.
talkies, chargers, homework assignments, literally anything you could want during this.
Talkies, chargers, homework assignments. What? Why do you have chargers? Why do they have homework assignments? You're only supposed to have one, and that's for yourself. Maybe if you're generous, help your friends. But what? Why do you have one for every person in the class, you dumbo?
School day, they had it, but it wasn't going to be cheap. These kids were charging. In the school day, they had it, but it wasn't going to be cheap. These kids were charging like they owned an Erewhon store. They didn't even go to school to learn. They went to do business. Inside their lockers and backpacks, it looked like one of those convenience trucks you see in New York City. And they always had to keep their business low-key so they didn't get caught. Because for some reason, it was against school policy. The school just hates to see a young kid getting his bag, let's be real. And actually, I was a victim of this one time. Because in middle school, I really wanted to get a PlayStation. Now, of course, the problem was I only had about $14 and a McDonald's gift card to my name. So I couldn't afford it, and my parents refused to buy me one because they wanted me to like go outside or something. I know, stupid. But since you can't get a job at 12 years old, well, at least not legally, the best thing I could think of to make money was start selling candy at school. I would have my mom take me to Costco and buy 24 packs of candy. I'm talking M&Ms, Snickers, Skittles, you name it. I had all the best candies. These candies cost about $1 each, and I would sell them for $3. So all I had to do was sell 200 pieces of candy, and I would be able to afford the PlayStation. Sounds easy enough. Well, no. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And the reason why it wasn't easy is something I know you all are going to cook me for. I shouldn't even share it, but the reason it was so hard to make that money is because I would just eat all the candy myself. But don't judge me, because listen to this first. I would literally bring about 50 pieces of the best candy to school every day, and I would probably end up selling about 15 to 20 of them. But I would also eat 3 or 4 of them myself. So I was losing money and getting fat. After about a week of doing this, I realized if I wanted that PlayStation, I needed to lock in. So I stopped eating my own product, and I started making some pretty good money. But then, one day, I get pulled out of class randomly, get told to go to the office, and when I get there, the vice principal breaks the news to me that she knows about my illegal operation. She was saying I gotta stop right now, and she knows I keep the candy in my locker, so by tomorrow, she was gonna check, and it better not be there anymore. She was treating me like the cartel moving around products, except when I say product, I'm literally just talking about Kit Kats. Still don't see what's so dangerous about that. Sorry I was trying to give the students a better option than that slimy chocolate milk. So not only was I sad, but all my clients were heartbroken too. Here's some honorable mentions of people that every school has, but I didn't think was worth making a full segment for. The girl who eats hot Cheetos first period and wears pajamas to school with a slick back bun. For some reason,
okay, I can understand the Cheetos. Actually, not really. Cheetos suck. I hate them. Why do you have pajamas to school?
every school has this exact person, and they do this every single morning. No days off. They got red fingers by 8 a.m. I sat next to a Hot Cheetos girl one time, and it would literally almost make me gag because the thought of eating Hot Cheetos was just not appetizing to me at that time. So please, to all the Hot Cheeto girls out there, I'm speaking for your stomach right now when I say, have an omelet for breakfast or something. Because it cannot be good to say your inside's on fire first thing in the morning. And then we got the NPCs, the background characters. The kids you've seen every single day for years, but have never spoken to once. You don't know their name, you don't know their voice, you're not even sure what grade they're in. They just appear in the hallway, sit quietly.
Yeah, I see these kind of type of people. They just kind of appeared and disappear, and I kind of see them once or twice. So you're just basically the normal students.
Class and disappear the second the bell rings. For all you know, these people aren't even actually conscious, and the school just spawned them in to fill up all the classrooms. The NPCs are especially funny when you have a class with the same one over and over again, yet you still don't know who they are. Then there are the goth kids. All black outfits, chains, dark makeup, looking like they just got out of a funeral. At first, you think they're scary, like they might cast a spell on you or something. But if you actually talk to them, they're usually the coolest people you've ever met. They just happen to be interested in something that makes your appearance look like you just switched your whole closet to dark mode. And finally, we got the foreign exchange students. Instantly popular for no reason other than people think it's cool that they're not from the same place as everyone else. Half the time, no one knows what they're saying.
Yeah, this is obviously pretty cool. Have I mentioned in the video? I started speaking English when I was just like 1.5 years old. Isn't that crazy?
But that's part of what makes them so lovable. They could literally go, McDonald's. And everyone's just like, yeah, McDonald's. And vice versa, they usually have no idea what we're saying. I went to school with a foreign exchange student from South Korea. And even though we could barely understand each other, we were homies. But all our conversations would go exactly like this. Hey, John Woo, how you doing? Oh, yeah. Nice. Teachers love them, students love them. They became friends with everyone without even trying. Every school has all of these people I mentioned, even yours. Maybe in different fonts, but your school definitely had it. Let me know if there's any other students that every school has in the comments that I forgot about, because I'm sure there's a bunch. See you guys.
Yeah. Well, that was Tyler the Tommy. If you want me to react to any other videos. Maybe react to shorts. Because the shorts are super popular. Oh wait, is that Louis A? Should I react to Louis A? Should I? Okay, anyways. Please like and subscribe. Really helps me out. But anyways.